Salesforce. Today is day 54 class where we are going to discuss for loop and the concept of arrays. Right? So yesterday we have covered the iterative statements, right? While and do while. So today we are going to see for and enhanced for loop. Right? So let us discuss this and then we will go for the arrays and then we will go for the enhanced for loop. Okay? So for loop, let me tell you the syntax here. So for the variable initialization should be done here. Initialization, right? Variable initialization should be done here. Right? Semicolon and whatever the condition you have to. So here you have to provide the condition. Condition part, this is the second part. Condition part you have to provide. And there are third part, increment or decrement. Increment or decrement part. Right? These are the three parts. This for loop has three parts. So the first one is variable initialization is there, and the second one is the condition, and the third one is increment or decremental operator. Right? In the while, do while also we have seen, right? Initialization we have seen, and the condition statements. So condition. And then we have seen incremental or decremental operators. And inside this, you have to write the statements, execution statements, whatever you have to execute the logic. The here inside this. So what is the process here in this for loop? So initialization, it is a pre-checking iterative statement. So this is the first step. Right? First step is variable initialization. And then after initialization of this variable, so it is moving to the condition. This is the second. Right? That means before going into the execution of the statements, so it is going to check the condition, which means it is a pre-checking iterative statements, right? So it provides an optimized way of using the iterative statements, right? Inside this programming, it provides iterative statement. This for loop is an optimized way. Okay, how we can say that it is an optimized way. So first, initial variable initialization will be done here, and then without using any line, further lines. So I am writing the condition. So it is moving to check the condition here. This is the second step, right? And if this condition is satisfied, then it is moving into a block of statements. Here it is going to execute these statements. This is the fourth step. Right? First step is variable initialization. Second step is checking the condition. If it is entering into the block, right? It is entering the statements. Whatever the logic it is written, so it is executing this, and then it is going into incremental or decremental operator here. This is the fifth step. After this execution of the statements, it is going for this incremental decremental operator. And after this, it is again checking into this condition. This is step number 6. Right? Here the cycle runs. Here the iterative loop runs. Right? So from here to here like this. So first is initialization and then checking the condition. If this condition is true, then it is entering into the block and executing the statements. After the execution, again it is going here, checking for the incremental operator and then checking the condition. If this condition is true, the same process repeated again. Right? If this condition is false, then it will come out of this block. This is the step number 7. Hope you understand, right? So this is the concept of for loop. Okay. So there are 3 parts inside this for loop: initialization, condition part, incremental, decremental part. Right? After the pre-checking condition, it is entering into the block, executing the statements, checking the incremental, decremental operator, and then again condition. If this condition is fails, coming out of the block. Right? So in the previous class, we have seen an example, right, to execute one mathematical table. So same Apex program. So we are going to see in this for loop how I'm going to execute in this for loop. Okay. So let me open here small example. Right. Open anonymous window. So here I'm going to write an Apex program to print mathematical table. Right. Why I'm saying the repeated examples means so that you can clearly understand. So by using while loop, so using the same example with for loop, how I perform the this particular Apex code, right? How I'm using this Apex codes. So now for what is the first part here? Initialization. So initialization means first you need to define the data type. Integer, data type and variable. Initialization is completed. Okay. Next. So let me give some max number condition is equals to sorry and to print the table, right? So for the table, two variables should be there, right? This is the first variable and this is the second variable. Max number, let us say some two table. Okay. Next, counter counter less than or equals to 10. Okay, this is the condition. And what is that? Counter plus plus. Right? This is the incremental decremental operator. Right? So these are the three parts. First one is variable initialization, and this is the condition part, and this is the incremental or decremental part. Here I am using incremental part. Okay, now enter the block of statements. So here you can write your logic, or I am writing a printing statement. System.debug max number what plus, okay. Now I need to add here counter value. 2 ones are 2, right? Counter 2 1 and is equals to concatenate. Next I need to add, what is that? Max number into counter. Okay, that's it, done. See, so previous the same example we have written in almost 6 to 7 lines. In 6 to 7 lines we have written the same code, but here just in between only one line here, just in only one line, right? One line we have done variable initialization and execute it. Open. See here the same output, right? Same output which we have seen yesterday. Right, let me take one more table here, let 12 table, execute it. Open. See, okay. So like this way you have to use the for loop. Okay. So now next concept is, so before going into the enhanced for loop, let me cover on this topic arrays. Right, before moving into enhanced for loop, so let's cover this arrays. So what is an array here? Array, right? So let me tell you the syntax here. So here you have to write data type, data type, all these things here, right? It is nothing but I am reserving some space. Okay, array name you have to write is equals to new, right? New is nothing but keyword. Okay, data type, right? Here you have to mention the size. That's it. Okay. So data type means we know the type of what type of value we have to store. So we know this, right? This is square braces. Square braces are nothing but a dimension. The holding some collection of elements. So this is used to hold the holding collection of elements, right? Holding some collection of elements. Okay. Next array name. So whatever may be X, Y, Z, any name, array name should be given here. And he knew. So we are now allocating. It is a keyword we have to use. New keyword we have to use, which is supposed to have like allocating a memory. Allocating the memory here. We are now newly allocating some memory to this array. Right? Size is nothing but a number of elements. Size nothing but number of elements. Right? So here I want to, for example, if you see here in previously, integer some customer code is equals to some, let's say 4501. So what it is going to get, this 4501 value is assigning to this customer. Updated this to customer code is equals to now 5401. Again, 5401 is updated to this customer code. The customer code, there is a memory allocation, right? In this memory allocation, previously 4501 is there, right? In the second line, so again 5401 is assigned to this customer code. So this 4501 will be gone and it is replaced with 5401, right? It is like this. So 4501 will be gone. Sir, it is storing only one value, not multiple values. But I have to store 4501 also and comma 5401 also. How? How this is possible here? So when you are using like this, so previous value is lost, new value is going to assign. But I don't want like this. I want all the values to be stored. So I want to store multiple values, right? Then this particular array concept is coming into the picture. So array is nothing but here fixed. We cannot change the this size dynamically. So whatever the size we are going to provide, number of elements, right? Whatever the size is there, it is fixed. So the size is going to fixed. Right? It is stored, similar data types are stored here, like homogeneous. In this array, only homogeneous elements will be stored and then similar data types. Right? Similar data types are stored in this array. This is right. Only similar data types. And to overcome this, we are having next concepts are there, so that we will discuss in the later. So like we will discuss later then. So for this array, this is the concept. This is the complete concept. So now integer. So previously I need to store all the values, right? So integer is the data type, and this is a holding some collection of elements, right? The dimensions we have to give like customer code array name is equals to new allocating the memory, right? So integer data type you have to use, and inside this some 10 size of the elements. Number of elements you have to store. This is the array size. Array size is 10. So system, how the system will capture this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So this is the way system is going to allocate the memory to this customer code. Right? And it will provide some allocation. So for every memory allocation, it is memory. for integer it will going to take. Every memory allocation, like there are 10 number of elements, right? Size of the array is 10. So for every element, forwards like this, right? And it will give some position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? Starting from the 0th position. And these positions are known as index positions. Note all these points. Index position 0. So what is the value in this index position? 0, 4, 5, 0, 1. What is the index position value in 1? So 5, 4, 0, 1. Like this way, we can store multiple values. 2, 3, 0, 1, 3, 2, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like this, we can store number of this. Whatever, this size cannot be expanded or cannot be shrinked. So whatever the size we have provided, so the size will be fixed. Due to this, sometimes there may be a loss of memory also because I want to store only 4 values. So these particular memory is wasted. Already this memory is allocated to this customer code, but I have not used this. So the memory is wasted. So dynamically it will. These are known as index positions. So if you want to know the index positions you can use like this customer code index position 0 like this. You need to ask to the system code index what is the index position in the 0. So system will provide you the output of 4501. So 1 means it will provide 5401. Like this it will store the values. These are the index positions. Okay. So this is the assigning a value. So I want to assign a values and I want to print the values means like by this way you have to do. So I have to store a value in index position 2. So customer code 2. Index position 2. 2301 is storing here. So customer code of 3. Right? That means index position 3. It is going to store 3201 like this. Okay. So now tell me what is the array here? It is mainly used to hold a collection of homogeneous elements. Or you can say like this. You can store a collection of the similar data type elements. Similar data type elements. We cannot store multiple data types like heterogeneous, different data type. Right? And while creating this particular array, we have to specify this size. So it is going to describe the number of elements that can be held inside this array. And also we cannot increase or we cannot decrease the array size at runtime. So obviously there is a memory. Okay, always starts with 0. So always these arrays will be identified by means of these index positions only. You have to note down all these points. So index positions, by means of index positions only, we can identify these values and it starts with the 0. We cannot shrink and we need to provide the size. Based on the size, the number of elements to store will be declared. Okay, and mainly it is used to store similar data type elements only. Okay, so like this. Let me remove this. Okay. Let's say now I want to store, for example, Salesforce objects are there. So I want to store some Salesforce object records. So like this, I can use array here. Account. This is a account data type, right? And array name ACC records is equals to new account, right? I need to store 25 elements here. So it holds 25 account records. 25 account records, right? Like this. So for example, I'm going to use a string, let's say some country names equals to new string, let's say some 10. So it is going to hold 10 country names, right? 10 country names like this. I need to use this array concept, right? Hope you understand, right? So I will show you in real time the same example which I have explained here. I will tell you with the same example. Okay, let me remove all this. Simple array here, integer customer codes equals to new integer. Let's say some size as 5. Okay, now debug, right? So customer codes are plus. Let me display all whatever the values are there. Let me see. Execute it. See here, null, 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 null. So total 5 memory spaces is allocated. So whatever the size we have provided, so based on allocation is created. So as of now in this customer code, and memory allocation. Now I need to store some values inside. Okay, customer code at index position 0. At index position 0, I am going to assign here. Okay, the paste some value, let's say 4567 in index position 1, in index position 2, right here. Okay, index position 3, index position 4. So total 5 elements are completed, right? Total 5 elements are completed. Now paste it. Okay, I want to print individually. Let me print individually customer code at 0th index position is, here I am going to write 0. Let me check what is the value inside this. Okay, and the same I want to print 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the first element, second element, third element, and fourth element. Right? Total 5 elements are there. Starts with the 0th position. See, execute it. Now let me check. See here, first initially null. Later on, I have assigned the values. So if you want to see individually whatever the values assigned, at the 0th position, the value is. So first position, the value, second position, third position, fourth position. Right? These are the 5 elements. I hope you understand, right? So the same concept. So whatever you are using here, right? So arrays. This is the arrays means holding the values. Now in this particular values, in this customer codes, if I want to iterate, instead of writing this, see here, if you open the code, instead of writing these many lines, now all these, or let me open this. Okay. See here. So how many lines are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 lines, 5 extra lines I have written because total there are 5 elements are in it in this particular array, right? So I have, in order to show this, in order to print these 5 values, I have written 5 debug statements. So, but in real time, there may be hundreds of elements inside this array. Then how to execute these hundreds of elements? Right? In order to execute these hundreds of elements, we need to define first of all array and we need to store in this customer code, and then we have to iterate them. We have to iterate them, right? So by using for loop or by using enhanced for loop as well, right? Quickly, I will show you. See here. Let's see both examples so that you can clearly understand. Okay. So let's say enhanced for loop. Okay. So what we are going to see here for every what is the customer code? Customer code, right? So for every customer code, you have to store these values. For example, there are 5 values are there. I need to loop one by one, one by one, one by one, right? So for every these customer codes, I have to store in some variable name is some code. It may be some anything, any name, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, anything, right? So whatever the values, this is the collection. This is the customer code. So wherever the values are stored, so I'm using that name here, and this is some variable name. And what is the data type? What is the data type here? It is an integer data type. This is where you have to use. That's it. Single one line. Instead of writing these many lines, right? Simple one line. I am going to print it here. See now, system dot debug customer code value is okay. This code I am going to print. Now, how the system runs here. So now in this customer code, there are 5 elements are there. So first one, for loop in this first element will be coming into this code. Now entering into this, so into the block of statements and executing here. Now that's so executing this third element, fourth element, fifth element, till till. So this particular collection is empty. If there is no elements to process, then it will come out of the loop. Then it will come out of the loop. Hope you understand, right? So completely system the back in the back end, everything is taken by care by the Salesforce internally, right? So whatever the value stored in this customer code, it may be 100, 200, 1000, 2000. So all these values are coming one by one, one by one, one by one, and entering into this loop, right? Let me execute this enhance the for loop. Okay. Now execute this. Missing at 18. Okay. Semicolon is missing here. Execute it. Now see here. Click on this debug only. See, customer got same values 5600. Previously, I have written 5 lines, but now only 1 line I have written. But the print, the execution of statements is at 5 times. Right? Previously, 5 lines I have used to print these 5 elements, but here I have used only 1 line, but still it is printing 5 times. Right? So here the duplication of code is also reduced. Like this, I am going to use this enhanced for loop. So we are going to use this particular concept in everywhere, right? So one last example, right? String, some array I'm going to take, let's say country codes, okay? To string. Here I'm going to provide the size. Instead of size, I'm providing the values here, right? India, right? UK, Japan, China, okay? Like this, I can write. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements I am providing. The size is 6 fixed here. Okay. Now I am using the for loop. Just one line, that's it. For loop. So in this for loop, so this country codes, in this country codes, there are total 6 elements are there. 6 elements are stored in this country codes. Now I am using this country codes and it should be iterated to some temporary variable. What is the temporary variable? Let's say some code XYZ, which is that which data type it is? String data type. That's it. Done. Right? Print this system.debug country name is okay. Here I am going to print this code, not the country codes. So here in the for loop, I'm storing this temporary variable one by one, one by one, one by one is going coming and storing in this temporary variable. So this temporary variable I'm going to print. That's it. Just highlight this and execute this highlighted. Total 6 times it needs to be iterated, right? See here total 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Country name is right. 0th position, 1 position, 2 position, 3rd position, 4th position, 5th position. To use enhanced for loop, right? For loop you understood and enhanced for loop, right? So better keep on practicing all these things. That's it for today. So if you're having any doubts at any point of time, just mention in the comment section. I'm going to respond to those comments. Okay, keep following this channel for the latest updates. Thank you.